First and foremost, I would like to give all praises and glory unto the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Kakadash. I like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach us this truth through the Spirit of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai. And peace and salutation to the Akiams Amodi who push in the gospel in sincerity and truth. This is Brother Quara from Trinidad Camp, coming to you with another lesson to feed the elect at the house of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Right? There is a quick little edification, on Psalm 68 verse 31, where it says, Prince shall come out of Egypt, Ethiopia shall soon stretch out her hands unto God, because, it got our people, calling themselves Ethiopians, that, it is Cushite, salvation is for them, because they are God's people, and it's not talking about, the actual Cushites, because they are heathens, right? They are not God's children, right? The Israelites are, and that is why, when you really check it out, why we call, the lost sheep, at the house of Israel, our people, they lost the mind, the identity. They didn't even know who's the self. They didn't even know who they are. But calling, the self, Ethiopians, West Indians, Jamaicans, Trinidadians, African American. You all are not these names. You don't get a name by a piece of land, right? Years of who your forefather is. You don't get a nationality by a piece of land. So a lot of them feel, that salvation is for all. But salvation is not for all nations, right? But for the nation of Israel, right? This is the covenant Yahweh Shai made with the Israelites. He didn't make no agreement or no covenant with these other nations, right? But he made with the nation of Israel, right? So a lot of these Rastas, in this Rastafarian doctrine, they're going off, right? They're going off on the scriptures, not understanding, not, not knowing, basically what it's saying. Them just reading and seeing, they say Ethiopia, they run with that, they're going off with that, right? But precept must be upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little, right? So we go to Exodus 12, start at verse 43, right? So the Ethiopians that who gonna stretch out the hands unto Yahweh Shem Yoshai are the Israelite foreigners that were scattered and were born in that land, right? I'm not talking about, just talking about, the Israelite foreigners. They're not talking about, the heathens, the actual Cushites, right? See, and the Lord said unto Moses and Aaron, this is the ordinance of the Passover. There shall no stranger eat thereof, right? No heathen, no stranger, no heathen to eat or to take part in the Passover, right? We jump down to verse 48, right? You see, and when a stranger shall sojourn with thee and will keep the Passover to the Lord, let all his males be circumcised, and then let him come near and keep it. And he shall be as one that is born in the land, for no uncircumcised person shall eat thereof. And days, will be a stumbling block to them, because, 1 minute, in verse 43, they're hearing no stranger, could eat thereof. And when they read in verse 48, they say, a stranger could eat. So it might be seen in, that the Lord contradicting himself. But, these people, they don't like to look up the meaning of words. Right? They didn't have, to break, they not that gift to break down the scriptures, to keep the Most High precepts. Right? They just read and see, as it is, and say, Ethiopia, but not looking up the meaning of words, or, going into the precepts. Right? So when you look up the word stranger in verse 43, right, goes back to Ben Nakah. And the stranger in verse 48, it goes back to Ger. Right? Two different meanings for the word stranger. So the Lord not contradicting himself. Right? You only understanding the scriptures. Right? So the stranger, he say in verse 48, are the Israelite foreigners that weren't born in the homeland. Right? That is scripture saying in verse 14, in verse 49 here. He said, one law shall be to him that is homeborn, and unto the stranger that sojourneth among you. The same law. So it doesn't matter if you're born in another land, right? You're an Israelite by bloodline from your foreparents. Right? So it doesn't matter if you ain't born home in Jerusalem, in Israel. Right? You're still an Israelite by bloodline of your foreparents who was scattered throughout all countries in these other lands. Right? And raise up seeds, in that land, in these other land. Right? The children is Israel. The children are Israelite. It doesn't matter if you ain't born home, right? You're Israelite by your forefathers. So the same law, right, is for you too. Right? So he said, one law shall be unto him that is homeborn, and the stranger that sojourneth among you. Right? Real quick, there is Exodus 2 verse 21. He said, and Moses was content to dwell with the man, and he gave Moses Zipporah his daughter, and she bare him a son, and he called his name Gershom. Right? For he said, I have been a stranger in a strange land. Right? So let's not say that Moses' son is not an Israelite because he born in a strange land and not home. No, he's an Israelite because Moses is an Israelite. So it doesn't matter if you're born in a home in a strange land. He is Israelite by your forefather, by your father. Right? So he kept the Passover because he is Israelite. The Passover is for the Israelite. The Lord make this covenant, this agreement, there's the Most High ordinance where he say, what we shall do. So no heathen could enter in this. And the Lord don't break his promise, he don't break his covenant. Right? There's Psalms 89 verse 34. He say, my covenant will I not break, nor alter the things that is gone out of my mouth. So the Most High not going to change. Right? He's not going to change. He's not going to alter the things that is going out from his lips. Things we say. What to come to pass. What is for, who this for. Right? He's not going to break his covenant. Right? And this, is the ordinance of your Basham Yosha about the Passover. It's for Israel. To take part in it. Not these heathens. So salvation is of the Jews. Salvation is not for you heathen. This Bible is based on Israel's story, with them under power, being sold into slavery for disobedience, and hey, we're gonna be brought back. We're gonna be uplifted. Hey, we're gonna be renewed, right? By our power, who we sin against, and being chastised, if we return back onto our power. Salvation is for them, not for these, heathen nations, right? There's Acts 8, start at verse 26. You say, and the angel of the Lord spake unto Philip, saying, Arise, and go towards the south unto the way that goeth down from Jerusalem unto Gaza, which is desert. And he arose and went, and behold, a man of Ethiopia, an eunuch of great authority, under Candace, queen of the Ethiopians, who had the charge of all her treasures, and had come to Jerusalem for to worship. Right? So this Ethiopian, right, he came to Jerusalem to worship because he an Israelite foreigner. These are the Israelites that were born, in that land, and knowing that they are Israelite, right? They came to worship, right? You see, and was returning and sitting in his chariot reading Isaiah the prophet, right? So only the Israelites, to keep the Passover, to enter into the Passover, no heathen, right? As we read in Exodus 12, right? No heathen, right? But this man of Ethiopia eunuch, he coming to worship, right? So with that tell you, you're Israelite foreigner that was born in that land, and not no Cushite, not no heathen, right? And there's the order Yahweh Shai said, there's the covenant the Lord made with the nation of Israel, that the Israelites should keep these things, keep these sayings, right? Mosai ordinance say change is the same. The Psalms 105, start at verse 8. He say he had remembered his covenant forever, the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations. Right? So it didn't change to say that a heathen could enter into the Passover now. That these damn Cushites or Hamites, or Elam or Moab, to enter into the Passover. It didn't change. Right? It's the same. That 1,000 generations. He say, verse 9, which covenant he made with Abraham and his oath unto Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law, and to Israel for an everlasting covenant. Right? So it ain't change. It's the same from unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and he confirmed the same unto Jacob. Jacob's name was changed unto Israel, the Israelites. Right? So the Lord, he changed not. The laws ain't changed. Same ordinance we have to follow. Right? So you're not understanding, the scriptures. Right? To know that, Israel was scattered. Right? Into these other lands. Right? There's Ezekiel 36. Let's see. Right. Verse 18. Right, now start at verse 17. Ezekiel 36, verse 17. He says, Son of man, when the house of Israel dwell in their own land, they defile it by their own way, and by their doings, their way was before me as the uncleanness of a removed woman. He said, Wherefore I poured my fury upon them for the blood that they had shed upon the land, and for their idols wherewith they had polluted. And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries according to their way and according to their doing. I judged them. So they were dispersed throughout these countries, in Ethiopia, in Egypt, in all these places, the four corners. Hey, Israel was scattered. They were dispersed. Right? This is how we end up in these strange land, because we sin against our maker and end up there. Right? And we multiply in these lands, because scripture shows you, the more they oppress Jakes, the more they oppress Israelites, the more they multiply. So children was, being brought up in these lands, that were calling themselves, the name after these lands, calling themselves Ethiopians, calling themselves Egyptians, and all the other names, but they are Israelite foreigners, right? So one law is for them that is homeborn, and the same law is for them that sojourn, the strangers, the Israelite foreigners, right? Because they are Israel, right? There is the covenant, the Most High, he made with them, right? Could go to there's Romans 9, start at verse 1. He said, I say the truth in Hamashiach, I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Spirit, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I wish that myself were accursed from Christ Hamashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, right, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of God and the promises, right? Paul wasn't born in the homeland, but he said that he is an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. And he said, go and keep the Passover, because the Lord wake him up, so you know he's an Israelite, right? And we pertain it, the adoption and the glory and the covenant and the giving of the law was for Israel, right? The Lord didn't deal with these other nations. And scripture in it, because Psalm 147, Psalms 147 verse 19, right? He say, he showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. He had not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgment, they have not known them. Praise he Yahweh Hashem Yoshai, right? So this is for Israel, there's not for these heathens, right? There's not for these heathens. There's Amos 3 verse 1. He said, hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquity. Because the laws was given unto the Israelites. The promise, the glory, the covenant, everything was given unto Israelites. Salvation is for them. not these other nations. These other nations then went into captivity. They are not in trouble like other men, like Israel. We were sold unto our enemies because we transgress against our maker, and were sold unto our enemies, not our friend, but our enemies. These heathen nations, wherever we were scattered, throughout all countries, we were sold unto our enemies. So there's no salvation for our enemies. Salvation only coming out of the nation of Israel. Right? So you go back to Psalms 68 verse 31. Right? He said, Prince shall come out of Egypt. Ethiopia shall soon stretch out her hands unto God. So we knowing, that Ethiopia, we're talking about the Israelite foreigners who were born in that land. They're going to stretch out their hands unto Yahweh Shem Yoshai. Right? There's Zephaniah 3 verse 10. You say, from beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my suppliants, even the daughter of my dispersed, shall bring my offering. Right? The scattered Israelites. Right? Right, we go back to Ezekiel verse 36 and 24. Right? He say, for I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries and will bring you into your own land. Right? So the dispersed Israelites that in their land, the Lord gonna get them. The Lord gonna come for them. The elect. And He gonna take we from among these heathen where we dwelling among. Right? And He gonna place us in our own land. The Lord gonna renew them. Right? He say, verse 25, He said, then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and He shall be clean from all your filthiness. All these things we sin against Yahweh Shem Yoshai, worshiping idols, all these things. And from all your idols I will cleanse you. A new heart, heart goes back to your mind, right? A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you. And I will take away your stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh. And I will put my spirit within you, and cause you to walk in my statutes, and He shall keep my judgment and do them. Right? This talking about the Israelites. The Israelites is talking about. Right? So the Lord, we're gonna get, these new bodies, these heavenly bodies, these bodies not gonna be subjected to sin. Right? So the Lord says He's gonna cause us to walk in His statutes and keep them. Right? Because we're gonna be changed. Right? And this only coming out of the nation of Israel, the elect. Salvation is of the Jews. No heathen nation not gonna get this, because the laws wasn't given to them, as we read in Psalms 147 verse 19. He didn't deal with the other nations. This law wasn't given to them. Law was given unto the Israelite. So we're gonna walk in the statutes. We're gonna walk in the way of Yahweh Shem Yoshai. This is the words of Yahweh Shem Yoshai Mount. Right? So the Lord gonna gather we from all these places where we are. A scripture in Isaiah 11 verse 11. He say, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set His hand again the second time to recover the remnant of His people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Patros, and from Cush, Ethiopia, right? And from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea, right? You see, and he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth, where they were sold unto slavery, the lands they're dwelling in, right? Is they gonna stretch out the hands unto your Basham Yoshai, right? After there is Isaiah 27, Isaiah 27 verse 13. He said, and it shall come to pass in that day that the great trumpet shall be blown, and they shall come which were ready to perish in the land of Assyria, and the outcasts in the land of Egypt, and shall worship the Lord Yahweh Basham Yoshai in the holy mountain at Jerusalem. Right? These are Israelites, not you heathens. Right? You all want to find, you all heathens, you know, you all just want to be in the picture. You all just want to find a place. Your place is in captivity. Right? You all want to have a place. Right? Your place is going to be in slavery. Right? That is your place. You know? Captivity. In subjection. You know? That dictatorship. You know? Gonna be by the Israelites. Right? You know? There's Zephaniah 2 verse 12. He say, he Ethiopians also, he shall be slain by my sword. So the Lord gonna kill these Ethiopians. So what Ethiopians all they talking about that gonna stretch out their hands unto your Basham Yoshai when he say he gonna kill their ass? So the Ethiopians was talking about was the Israelite foreigners. Not the actual Cushite, because the Lord gonna kill these Cushites. The Lord gonna kill these Cushites. They're going into slavery. Right? Because they did the Israelites wrong. Right? As scripture say in Joel 3 verse 1, he say, for behold, in those days and in the time when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and bring them down in the valley of Josaphat, which is Yahweh Shaphat. They with the Lord, there is Yahweh judgment. You see, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they had scattered among the nations and parted my land. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. You say, yea, and what have he to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon? Right? These Hamites, and these Africans, and all the coast of Palestine will he render me a recompense. And if he recompense me swiftly and speedily, I will return your recompense upon your own head. Because he hath taken my silver and my gold, and hath carried into your temples my godly pleasant things. He said, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have he sold unto the Grecians, that he might remove them far from their borders. He said, but behold, I will raise them out of the place where he hath sold them, and I will return the recompense upon your own head. Right? So just what you do unto the Israelites, hey, this is going to come back to all you. The cup going to pass through unto all you. Slavery. Right? That is what coming. That is the place for all you. Right? All you want to be in the picture, all you want to be, you know. There is what There's the picture all are gonna be in captivity, in slavery, under these same people all you persecute and did wrong, right? All these nations whoever did Israel wrong in ancient time either was dealt with. So what you all feel that in this time you all gonna get away scot-free? Hell no. The Lord say he require things that he pass. He had burn it with vengeance. Right? No peace. But the true judge coming, true righteous judge coming, Yahweh Shem Yashai, coming to judge you nations. Right? For all the blood you all spilled. Right? Days were coming. Days all your destiny. Slavery. Right? And with that, I hope it was edifying, I'd like to give all praises and glory unto the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Basham Yoshai, Basham Kakadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, rule well. And peace and salutation to the Akims and Maudi who pushing the gospel in sincerity and truth. This is your brother Quara saying, Shalom.